I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of Bozhena, the Zhelyov herb woman. She went out to sell her baskets and never came back.
Pavlena's gone missing too. Now it's starting to make sense to me. She and Roman are somewhere together for sure. I've been looking for that idiot all day.
Where do you think Pavlena and Roman might be?
Not long ago, Roman was talking over a beer about how him and Pavlena wanted to leave and start a new life. Somewhere where no one knows her and her ma.
You think they'd really do it?
I took it all with a grain of salt, but after what he told me last time, anything is possible. For Christ's sake, he's got a whole house his pa left him. He wouldn't just leave it on account of her, would he?
Well, I don't think either that Pavlena would just run off and leave her mother alone.
You never know with women. And what's more... No, I shouldn't say nothing about that. Best to go and look in Roman's house. He wouldn't just leave empty-handed, right?
Wait, though. What was it you were going to say about Pavlena? What did Roman tell you? Why would he want to move away with Pavlena now?
No, I shouldn't have said anything. I promised I wouldn't tell anyone.
Look at me. You can trust me. I won't breathe a word to anyone.
Oh, all right. Pavlena is expecting a child. It's Roman's bastard.
Really? And who else knows about it?
Roman says he told only me. But who Pavlena might have told, I couldn't say. I don't reckon she's got many friends, though.
Now I see why they wanted to leave together.
Aye, that's just what I was thinking. We really should check out Roman's house. Then we'd know for sure.
All right. Let's go and take a look at Roman's.
Great. That is, you can go there.
Hang on, you said you two were friends. Why would I go there alone?
For one thing, I have to work. And besides, how would it look if anyone saw me breaking down his door? My reputation would be ruined. Whereas you, no offense, you're a stranger. You don't have to worry about your good name, do you? But me, I'd lose my livelihood.
Well, I can do it. But you ought to give me something. For insurance. I'm the one sticking my neck out here. Well, if I'm caught there, I'll need a few groschen to bribe the catchpoles. So I don't end up in the stocks.
True enough. Here you are. This ought to do it. After you search the place, come back and let me know what you found. I'll be around here somewhere.
Nobody home. But maybe Pavlena was here. It's set for 2. Freshly eaten. And there are the baskets Pavlena came here to sell. They were here for sure. Maybe they just went for a stroll. Dushko might know about their favorite spots.
What? Was that...
I searched Roman's house.
And what did you find?
Now, there's no one there, but Pavlena had been there for sure. The table was set for 2, and I found the baskets that she sells too.
You're right. It sure does look like she was there.
It can't have been long ago either. The food was still fresh. Any idea where they might have gone?
Well, they've got a favorite spot down by the stream. You could try looking there.
Where exactly?
There's a ditch leading from Roman's house to the stream. Follow it down the hill. When you come to a place where the stream flows between the 2 big boulders, turn left and go straight. There it is. under an old linden tree.
All right. Thank you.
But, mind you don't walk into the middle of anything, awkward. And tell that lazy bastard to get his ass to work. I'm not going to do his work for him. Take care, friend.
This must be the place Dushko was telling me about. How the local lads bring their girls over here. Christ, there must have been a fight here. It's covered in blood. Used as a weapon, maybe. This is surely Pavlena's. A piece of her dress. This doesn't look good. If I had Mutt here, I could let him sniff it. Oh well. Never mind. A trail of blood. We should see where it leads. Jesus. This must be Roman. Someone buried him here. Mother of God. Oh, and the body's been munched on by a pig. I should try and find out who's herding those pigs. Maybe they saw something.
Where the hell did that pig go? Ladybird! Where are you? Ladybird!
I found a stray pig.
That's great. I lost a sow somewhere. Where is she?
Not so fast. It's munching on a corpse back there in the forest.
Blessed Virgin! What corpse?
My guess is it's Roman. A local woodcutter.
By all that's holy! I saw him going towards the woods with his girl, and now you tell me he's dead. Surely she didn't kill him. Oh, Christ! I think I'm gonna throw up.
Who are you?
My name is Hugo. I herd hogs. I take them to the woods to forage for acorns and nuts. But I ain't got nothing to do with no cops, if that's what you're asking.
Have you seen anything suspicious going on around here?
Suspicious? Like how?
I don't know. Someone carrying or dragging something? That corpse didn't walk there on its own.
Hang on now. I did see something a bit odd. One of the farmhands came from the woods in a big hurry. And he was carrying a spade.
Which one of them was it?
Straw? That is Slavomir. But everyone calls him Straw. He works on Yakish's farm. The big farmstead in the south of the village. Oh, do you think he could have killed Roman?
Who knows? But it does seem like he buried him.
God's truth.
You say you saw Roman with his girl. You mean Pavlena?
Aye, that's the name. Pavlena. I saw the pair of them going down towards the stream. Probably for a smooch. The two of them are pretty close. That is, they were. Oh, you think the girl might be mixed up in his death?
I hope not. I'm trying to find her too. Thanks for your help. I'd better go and find that farmhand.
Aye, and if he really done it, then give the murdering fucker what he deserves. Pretty, come here. Where the hell did that pig go? Baby bird, where are you?
What's that idea?
Are you the one they call Straw?
Yeah? Why?
I know everything. I know you buried Roman's body in the woods.
What? How could you? That's not true!
It's no use trying to wriggle out of it. I have a witness.
Shit. Fuck! I didn't want nothing to do with it, I swear. It's all that girl's fault.
Where is Pavlena?
I ain't telling you nothing.
Don't try any charades with me. If something's happened to Pavlena, you'll pay for it. Here and now.
No. You're the one who'll pay. I won't let you go and snitch on us. I'll kill you. Enough! I give up!
Had enough!
Enough! Enough! I'll tell you everything. We didn't want it to end like this, I swear. I'll tell you everything.
Speak up!
Well, it all began in the tavern. We were boozing with Yakish. He don't go to the tavern much, but when he does, me and my brother go along too. Even though we're just his hired farmhands, he buys us wine.
Yeah? Go on.
When Yakish got drunk, he started remembering that day when his wife and son died. It happened during childbirth. And to this day, Yakish blames Bozhina, the herb woman, for it. She was the midwife. I don't know if it was really her fault, but anyway, the boy died and she didn't baptize him, even though she had every right to do it. The little fella died unchristened, so his soul is damned for all eternity. That's not right.
Actually, children who die unbaptized aren't damned. I heard a priest once talking about some place called Crimbo or something. It's like hell, only the colours are different. And it's, I think, underground?
Or in Prague?
Can I carry on?
Right, yeah. So, you were in the tavern with Yakesh, and...
When he had 3 or 4 jugs inside him, Yakish started on about how he'd give anything to see Bozhina suffer the same pain as he did. It wasn't enough for him that they drove her out of the village that time. He wanted to pay her back even more.
I hope for your own good this isn't going where I think it's going.
No! Listen, my brother Ota, he was always the sly one out of the 2 of us. He came up with this idea that we'd lie in wait for Pavlena when she came to sell her baskets.
I see. Bozhena's daughter for Yakesh's son.
No, it wasn't like that. We didn't set out to kill her, just to give her a bit of a hiding and tell her not to come back here again. Then we'd lie to Yakesh that she was dead, and he'd reward us with... well, he's got 2 girls to marry off, and Marusha's a pretty one. But he'd never let either of them marry a hired hand, unless I'd done him a worthwhile service. See?
Oh, so you 2 just ambushed that poor girl? Where is she now? Answer!
We followed her along the path to the pond, and then we jumped her. Only then her fella turned up, Roman. As soon as he saw us, he charged us like a wounded boar. And he held my brother by the throat and pounded him like a madman. So I grabbed a rock and smashed him over the head with it. I never seen so much blood. I didn't mean to kill him, I swear.
God almighty. And what did you do with Pavlena?
She was stunned when she saw what happened. So my brother grabbed her and dragged her into the rocks while I went to bury Roman. We couldn't just let her go after she'd seen everything.
Where in the rocks?
To the south of Zhelyov. There's a kind of gorge there. An abandoned poacher's hide with a ladder leading to it. I've told you everything. What are you going to do with me?
Both of you should be tried justly for what you did. I'll take you to the bailiff and leave the rest to him.
Kurva, I really didn't want it to end like this.
I brought you Slavobor. They call him Straw, from Yakesh's farm. He and his brother attacked Pavlena and killed Roman. Then Straw buried him in the woods.
For the love of God, Straw! Is this true?
We didn't mean to kill anyone. We just wanted to give Pavlena a scare, and Roman went for us. It was self-defense.
Henry, is it true what he's saying?
Straw killed Roman, but I don't believe he did it with evil intentions. You should be lenient.
I'll take your testimony into account. You'll be locked up in the rat house, Straw, until we decide what to do with you. Thanks for bringing him in, Henry. Roman's murder can't go unpunished. Mind where you're going.
Stop there! Don't come any closer, or I'll cut her throat! I swear to God! Don't try any tricks! Turn around and go right! Don't move, you whoreson! Who the fuck?
My name is Henry.
And what the fuck?
First, tell me who you are. We're Christians.
I'm
Easy.
Kurva! I just wanted... Shit!
Take it easy.
Don't fucking... How did you get here? And where's my brother? Talk! Or...
Why are you doing this?
It's Yakesh's doing. Bozhena killed his son. He was always on about paying her back for it. And he's got a huge fucking farm and 2 daughters to marry off. He'd never give them to ordinary farmhands, unless he owed them a debt.
So you did it to get into his good books?
It was the only way. I don't want to spend my whole life shoveling shit.
Listen, you have to let... She's pregnant.
What? How do you know?
Roman told Dushko, and Dushko told me.
Oh, shit. We killed the baby's father.
Let the girl go. She's suffered enough.
All right, I'll let her go. But on one condition. You'll let me walk away. Will you promise?
You have my word. Just set her free.
All right. All right. All right. Just take it easy.
You swine!
I'm letting her go.
Die!
Look!
Die! Die! That's for Roman! You bastard!
You killed him. But he let you go.
So what? He deserved nothing better.
No, you're right. He had it coming.
Yes, for what he did to Roman. I have to get out of here. Will you take me back home?
Sorry, but I want to clear something up before we go.
What's that?
Are you really expecting a child? And is Roman the father?
Yes, it's true. Me and Roman wanted to get married and go somewhere far away. With Ma too, of course. But you won't tell Ma about the baby, will you? Please.
Why don't you want her to know?
Ma knows how to get rid of a baby in a situation like this. She might want to, but I don't want that.
Don't worry. I won't breathe a word to anyone.
All right.
Are you all right? You're not hurt?
No, I'm fine. Just a few scratches. It's nothing.
How did you get here?
Me and Roman were going down to the stream. He went back to get something, and I went on ahead. Those 2 bastards jumped me by the stream. I don't know what they wanted to do to me, but Roman stepped in. Only one of them grabbed a rock and...
I know. You don't have to say any more.
When it was all over and Roman was lying on the ground, Otter tied me up and dragged me here. I tried to make a run for it, but that bastard set his dog on me.
Do you know why they wanted to...
Yakesh put them up to it. For a long time after they chased us out, I didn't dare go to Troskovitz. Ma always warned me not to. Only then, I met Roman. I should have known the people there hadn't forgotten about us. And that Yakesh still wanted revenge.
Tell me something about Roman. What was he like?
He was a woodcutter in Troskovitz. We were... together. Sorry. I can't talk about it.
What exactly happened? How did Roman die?
He was trying to protect me. If he hadn't come along, I don't know what those beasts would have done to me. Only that big brute grabbed a rock and smashed Roman over the head with it. He fell straight to the ground. I could swear he was looking at me the whole time, even though he was lifeless, like he was trying to tell me to run.
That's all I need to know.
So, come...
We can go. I'll go with you.
Good. I don't want to spend another moment here.
Of course.
Let's go then.
Here we are. Pavleno's fine.
Pavlena, let me look. Are you all right?
I'm fine, Ma. They
They abducted her.
God almighty. Who would do such a thing?
They were hired hands from Troskovitz.
And did they do anything to you?
No, they just tied me up. But they were Yakesh's hands. They would have killed me.
Yakesh? I might have known he wouldn't leave us in peace. Hasn't he hurt us enough already? Isn't it enough that we have to live here because of him?
Ma.
I knew it would come to this. Henry, I need one last service from you.
I'd be glad to help.
Yakesh is to blame for everything. For us being driven out, for Pavlena being abducted.
And for everything else.
Everything leads back to him and his old hatred. We'll never have peace as long as he's alive.
What are you trying to say?
I want you to kill him.
What? Are you serious?
Yes. It's either him or us.
What happened between you and Yakesh?
That's old history.
It was because of him that they drove us out of Troskovets.
You lived in Troskovets?
For generations. I was the midwife there for years, just like my ma before me. So many children we brought into the world. Yakesh is too, except for one.
What happened?
The birth started sooner than it should have, and Yakesh didn't send for us on time. He thought since Ludmilla had already given birth to 3 children, she'd manage the 4th on her own. Little Marushka came to get us, though, but by the time we arrived, it was looking bad. I did what I could. I gave her poultices and herbs to inhale, but the child was feet first and wouldn't come out. No matter what we did, it clung on and wouldn't budge. In the end, it died. When we finally got it out, it was too late.
He was, ripped apart. I remember that.
Pavlena. It was a boy. Yakesh's only son. He wouldn't listen. He had to look at him. Right after, he threw us out. Ludmilla died during the night, probably all alone, from exhaustion and pain, or maybe distress. Yakesh blamed us for everything, and the whole village listened to him. They drove us out.
Past the boundary stone.
Yakesh turned all his anger and hatred against us. But it was us who tried to save his son.
I don't think it was your fault. These things just happen in life sometimes.
Aye. Everyone dies.
Yes.
Bozhena, don't you know that that path leads nowhere good? They hurt Pavlena, yes, but you mustn't do anything. Murder is a sin.
No, Henry. Enough is enough. When Yakesh accused us of killing his son, I did nothing. When they drove us out of the village, I did nothing. When we had to forage in the woods to survive and spent the winter shivering over dying embers, I did nothing. And now, when Yakesh tried to kill my daughter, you tell me I should do nothing? No, lad. This can't go on.
And what if someone then avenges Yakesh's death on you?
Let them. I've had enough. Why would I make peace with someone who only wants to hurt us?
Because Pavlena is with child.
What? Is this true, Pavlena?
Ma,
Well, speak up, girl. I won't do anything to you.
I wanted to tell you. I wanted you to meet Roman and... We wanted to move away and take you with us and... Roman was...
My little girl.
I don't know what to do, Ma.
Don't worry. We'll take care of everything. You think, Henry, that you could persuade Yakesh to drop his accusations against us?
If you did, you and Pavlena could move back to the village. That'd be the best thing for the little one.
Very well. If you think you can convince him, but if he refuses to listen to reason, you know what you have to do.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Who are you praying for?
For my son, Yaroslav.
When did your son die?
Well, Yaroslav would have been 5 years old now.
How come he's buried there and not at the cemetery?
He died during birth and was never christened, so he couldn't be buried in the cemetery.
God have mercy. I'm sorry about that.
Aye, me too. If it hadn't been for that treacherous old hag, he wouldn't be here under a tree. He'd be in the churchyard, as he ought to be. The poor, innocent soul. Or standing right here next to me.
Old hag? Who are you talking about?
The midwife, Bozhena. My wife, Ludmilla, gave birth to 3 daughters. Quick and easy every time. The village women often scream all day and night before they bring their babies into the world. Not my Ludmilla. When she had Marushka, it was all over before the midwife even got here. But when Yaroslav was coming into the world, you know, I knew already I'd finally have a son. I never sent for no help. Why would I? After all, Ludmilla done it all on her own 3 times. And besides, that Bozhena is an unclean woman and a witch. Only this time, something went wrong. Of course, I wasn't there. Being a God-abiding man, I was outside. But Marushka comes running out, shouting, "Pa, send for Bozhena! Ma's poorly!" I thought twice about it, but then I sent for her. She came along with a little girl, Pavlena, and a whole sack of herbs. She started brewing right away, and before the night was out, she was pouring God knows what kind of concoction down Ludmilla's throat. It's a wonder she didn't poison her, the crone. I couldn't get a wink of sleep all night. It wasn't till daybreak that Bozhena came out of the house, carrying in her arms. They could see right off it was a boy. Like I said, only Yaroslav came out feet first. And as they were pulling him out, well, he was all Mother of God. I can't even say it. It was that Bozhena's doing, I tell you. If she hadn't pulled him out and left Ludmilla to manage herself, he could have lived.
So you still blame her for it?
And why shouldn't I? I haven't told you the half of it yet. I asked the priest, and he told me every midwife has the sacred right to perform baptism when things go wrong. Like when it looks bad for the child, see? She can baptize him, make sure he gets to heaven. And you know what Bozhena did?
What?
Not a thing. She looked at that little body lying still and didn't do a damned thing. And my wife died a few hours later. So I'm sure you understand what I did after. That same evening, I got the other fellas from the village, and we drove that damned witch out beyond the boundary stone.
I see. She lives in the woods now.
A good thing, too. She hasn't shown up here since. Many times I told myself we should have done more to her, so she'd know how I felt.
I understand your pain, but it wasn't Bozhena's fault. She saved my life when I was wounded and lost in the woods. She's a good soul.
That's all well and good. But believe me, that witch will never wash clean her sins.
I'd like to ask you more about your son.
Ask away.
What about your other children?
One of my daughters got married and moved out. Marushka and Olina are still here. Once they get married, I'll be left all alone on the farm.
Why? One of them could live on the farm with her husband, couldn't she? Lots of fellows would give the right arm for a place like this.
Aye, true enough. Only a father should pass his livelihood on to his son, God damn it! Don't tell me it's different where you come from.
My pa was a blacksmith. He taught me his trade since I was little. He wasn't my father by blood, but he took me as his own from the day I was born.
Really? What kind of man would take in another's child?
An honourable man. Blood isn't everything. You know yourself. You'll find husbands for your daughters, and you'll be glad to have them take care of you in your old age. Like it should be. And one day your livelihood will pass on to your grandchildren. Nothing ends.
I suppose you're right.
I don't have any more questions. Thanks. Your farmhand murdered Roman and abducted Pavlena, the herb woman's daughter.
What? What the hell are you talking about?
Straw admitted everything, so I dealt with him according to the law.
Jesus Christ! Why would they do something like that?
They did it to get in your good books. For taking revenge on Bojena.
My God! I never wanted anything like that. When I get drunk, I curse her, aye, but I never wanted anyone to kidnap her daughter or murder anyone. I didn't put anyone up to it. They did it on their own, and it's their own bloody fault. Jesus Christ! That's the last thing we need, a mess like this. I have to square things up with Thrush.
Look, I know relations between you and Bojena the herb woman aren't good, but it's time to put an end to the animosity.
Where are you going with this? That witch deserves no pity.
I understand your bitterness, and I'm sorry about your son. Bojena would certainly have saved him if she could, but whatever happened between you, it has to end now. Bojena came very close to losing her daughter on account of your feud.
Your farmhands abducted her, and they killed her sweetheart.
But I had nothing to do with that. They did it of their own free will, not on my orders.
That means nothing. They did it because of you. They wanted you to be indebted to them.
But that's not my fault, and I don't see why I should have to make up with Bojena on account of it.
You're lucky I saved Pavlena. She's expecting Roman's child, the child of a man who your hands killed. If I hadn't stopped them, they'd have killed her too, along with the unborn child.
By all the saints, Shit! You're right. It's time to put an end to it. And don't worry, I understand it won't be so straightforward. I'll send Bojena compensation. I never wanted anything to happen to her daughter, and she's the one who suffered most from that banishment. She can't have been more than 10 years old. I give my word that I won't do anything bad to them, and those two fools of hands, they won't show up here again. And if they do, I'll haul them off to the bailiff myself.
I've already dealt with your hands.
Oh. Good. Good. But my offer still stands. Bojena and Pavlena could return to the village.
Very well. It's about time this chain of vengeance was broken for good. Give me the money, and I'll take it to Bojena. But God alone knows whether she'll forgive you.
Thank you. It's time for us all to get on with our lives. I hope Bojena will understand that.
How are things going here?
The land is good. Apart from those assholes up in the hill, that is.
What do you mean?
Fucking tackle bastard. They're getting above themselves.
Do you want me to help with them?
Trust me. I'll make it worth your while. What do you say?
Sure. If there's something bothering you, I'd be happy to help.
Listen up, then. Those naughty Tackerite bastards have this nice maypole in their village. They're so proud of it, you'd think it's a gift from the king himself. Especially Project. Nothing would teach them a lesson better than stealing it and putting it up on display here. Just to spite them.
So all I have to do is take their maypole and bring it to you?
Aye, exactly. But be careful no one sees you take it. It'll be even better if they don't even know it's missing. Besides, if they catch you, they'll beat the shit out of you. So be careful.
All right, I'll be careful. Thanks.
Excellent. But even if something goes wrong, don't go clobbering anyone over the head, understand? All I want to do is piss Project off.
You want to do what to him?
Piss him off. You know, mess with him. For stealing our maypole and our pasture. But remember, no violence, all right?
Of course. I wouldn't hurt a fly. You can count on me.
But go ahead and talk to Project. At least you'll see what an asshole he is.
Why don't you like the Takovites?
Because they're wankers. Arrogant wankers. Think they're above everyone else? But mainly, they stole our pasture, which has belonged to Giliov since time immemorial.
How does someone steal a pasture, anyway?
Like a prick, that's how. Behind Takov, there's this strip of land leading toward the pond. It's supposed to belong to us, for grazing. There's an old tree there, and everything between the tree and the woods is ours. I was there when it was decided. I was about your age then, and I got a good beating under that tree, so I remember. And you can bet your ass I remember.
They beat you up under the tree? Why would they do that?
You bet they did. That's just how it's done, obviously. When we agree on something like this, we take a young lad and give him a good pummeling, so that he'll remember in case the others forget. And we pick a young boy because he has a good memory and, God willing, still has many years in front of him. It makes sense?
Aye, you're right. I remember we used to do the same back where I'm from. Did you take your pasture dispute to Lord Bombergov?
Of course we did. He asked the Truskovitz bailiff to resolve it, and he said we should sort it out amongst ourselves. And that if he heard about it ever again, he'll have both me and Project flogged. So that's that.
But how did they steal it from you?
Because they don't believe me. The treacherous bastards. They lie about it wherever they can, saying the deal was different. And it was a different tree near the forest.
Can anything be done about it? Can't you make some kind of agreement?
Well, we meet there every year. I tell them how it is, while they just spew their usual lies. So we kick each other's arses, and everything just stays the way it is. A while back, we fought for a right to use at least half of it. But because I grazed my cattle there, I had to pay those bastards for using their half as well. But that's not fair. All of it is supposed to be ours by law, for fuck's sake.
Aye, that's a tricky situation.
Tricky my ass. They're greedy liars. Simple as that.
Why do they look down on you?
Commoners here have all sorts of obligations to the nobility, and have to pay a tax.
Of course. That makes sense.
Aye, but Takov has all its obligations in Grossen. They just pay up and that's it. But the nobles won't allow the same for Yayov. Besides Grossen, the others have to give them pigs, chickens, hay and the like, or go and serve. That's why them Takovites look down on us. They think they're better than us.
Don't you pay as well?
Not me, no. I'm a freeholder. My farm is free from all taxes. Forever. I also brought the right to freely bequeath my property. So, when God called me back, my estate won't go to Lord von Berghoff, even though I don't have children anymore. I can leave it to whoever I want in my will.
Well, the Takovites just worked out a better deal for themselves. That's all.
Horse it! What do you know anyway?
About the...
Ask away.
I reckon they'll be guarding the maypole, eh?
Aye. They're proper careful and keep a good eye on it. You'll have to be thoughtful and outsmart them somehow. But that shouldn't be too hard. That Ducko lot ain't the brightest. Ask around. See what's going on over there. You'll figure something out.
Well, you don't need me for this, do you? Just send one of your farmhands.
It's not that simple. Maypoles are a big deal in these parts. We had one here too, just like in Soskowit. But those Duckovites stole ours. And our fella didn't manage to steal theirs. They got their arses kicked too. That's how it is every year. They're very proud of the maypole, but they won't be expecting a stranger like you to steal it.
Do you have any idea how I'm actually supposed to steal it?
What we need is to reach. That's the important part. I reckon you'll have to climb up and chop the top off.
All right. Climbing up there should be no problem.
There you go. I like your enthusiasm, but I reckon climbing up there will take a bit of time. So be careful none of those tackle fools spot you.
Good afternoon.
I talked to Yakesh and explained everything to him. He agreed to make amends. His hands acted on their own accord, and he's sorry about it, mostly because of Roman and Pavlena.
What does that mean? That Pavlena can go to Truskovitz and no one will trouble us anymore?
Yes, but that's not all. He gave me some coin for Pavlena, too, as compensation for Roman. Even though he wasn't Pavlena's relative, Yakesh wants to show his sympathy for her loss. Here it is.
Thank you, Henry. In the end, you were right. If only we'd made peace with Yakesh before it all went so far.
Well, at least Pavlena is safe.
I don't know what I'd do without her. We'll always be obliged to you, Henry. If you ever need anything, you know where to come. And you should at least keep half of Yakesh's coin.
That's all right, good wife. Pavlena will need it more. For her baby.
I'm glad I was able to help.
Henry, if Pavlena has a boy, I hope he'll be at least half as good as you. I'll tell him all about you one day. Thank you, Henry, for everything. It was good to see you, my friend.
So, how are you doing?
Well, not bad, all things considered. I mean, with all that happened over the past few days.
I understand. I didn't want to upset you. I was just wondering if you had everything you needed, and so on.
You're so sweet, but we're doing all right. Don't worry about us. What we need and can't make ourselves, we buy. We earn some coin from my baskets and Mother's medicines, but mostly we live off what the forest provides. Ma taught me about every flower, root and mushroom, so I pick a lot of things. Ma can cook a hare like no one else, so I bring a lot of them. I can hit one at 30 paces. Sometimes we even eat venison. I can shoot a deer at 50 paces, but don't tell anyone.
Of course. You can trust me. Hitting a hare at 30 paces, that's some serious marksmanship. I'm not sure I could do it. Perhaps you could teach me a few tricks.
I'd be happy to, but don't expect any miracles. You just need to know your way around the forest and practice a lot. And when you live alone in the forest, you've got plenty of time for that.
I'd like you to teach me something.
Sure, why not? And what would you like?
What do you have for...
Somebody did him in and chucked him into the
God
water.
bless you.
But the river there has a powerful current. The dead man had been floating down the river for at least a week.
Without anyone noticing.
Exactly.
What do you want, you yokel? Speak up or get lost.
My dog got lost not far from here. Did you see him by any chance?
I haven't seen any dogs round here for a while, but I hear there's wolves in the forest causing problems. Just the other day, a shepherd boy from Copenina complained that his sheep were being eaten by the flea-ridden beasts.
Where can I find this shepherd?
Siegfried? He has a hut at Copenina. It's just below the castle, on the back slope of the hill.
And you haven't heard anything else about wild dogs?
Here, in the tavern? No. But there was a fella here who gets by doing a bit of poaching. He said once he was hunting when, right in front of him, a large pack attacked a deer. A mix of wolves and dogs, he said. That's not something you see every day.
Do you know where that was?
How would I know where he goes hunting? But I'd say it was in the forest.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a friend of mine. He's not from round here, but...
Let me guess. A dirty ruffian who ain't got a groschen to his name but acts like he owns the bloody place.
He was here then?
Aye, he was. He was larging it up good and proper, and then he found some lads who paid his bill, unfortunately.
What do you mean by that? Why unfortunately?
Because they're right ruffians who are always up to no good. But still, birds of a feather, eh? In the end, they left like best pals, but I got no idea where they went.
What's going on around here, innkeeper?
Vostatek, Lord von Berghoff's huntsman, is a regular here. He might have some work for you. He's got a cottage near Vidlark Pond. So if you know your way round the woods, you could go and offer him your help. But I hope he hasn't started drinking somewhere else. He's my best customer. One more thing. You're not going to believe this, but 2 local lads claim they found a water goblin's treasure.
You have a water goblin here?
It would be a wonder if we didn't, with all the ponds around. He's got a hut nearby. If you follow the right bank of the Rock Tower Pond, you'll find it hidden in the reeds.
Where did you say the water goblin's hut was?
If you follow the right bank of the...
And what did they find there? Are you sure they didn't make it up?
I thought so too at first. They're foolish lads, so I wouldn't be surprised. But then they ordered wine and paid with silver. Their purse was jingling with groschen.
Would you happen to know where I could find these lads?
They often swim at the other side of the Rock Tower Pond. There's a pier there by the dam. That's their spot.
Any other news?
Recently, a bunch of charcoal burners who have their kilns on the hill above the Kerchak Pond came here to have a beer. I started talking to them and they told me they almost didn't make it.
Why?
They said a pack of wolves came after them.
Aren't wolves afraid of people?
That's what I thought too. It's strange.
Did they tell you where it happened?
In a gorge above the Rock Tower Pond. They noticed the wolves watching them from the rocks. If you climb up those rocks, you'll be able to see the whole pond from there.
Did they tell you how large the pack was?
They mentioned 3 wolves, but God knows if that's all of them.
Do you have any more news?
By the way, we've put together this wee fight club here. Would you like to try it?
That sounds good. What's it about?
It actually came about by chance when the miller Crazel and me bet on who has the stronger hired hands. Then other blokes from the village joined in, and it's become somewhat of a tradition. And that's pretty much everything.
Thanks, innkeeper. That sounds interesting. Tell me more about these fights of yours.
It's really quite simple. You bet some money and fight against 3 blokes in turn. Our first fighter is Hans, a local musician. He may not look like much, but he knows a few tricks. Then we have Bohunek here. He works with horses, so he has more than enough strength to spare. And then there's Fiala. A good bloke, but Dorothy, his wife, has forbidden him from fighting.
I'd like to try the fights here.
Why not? But it won't be for free. If you don't have enough money, try to go and see Crazel at the mill. He recently bragged he was going to send someone here, but no one has come yet. Maybe you can come to some agreement together.
Fine. I'll go and see him, and we'll see.
What would you like?
What?
So I reckon the scolding of the stable hand.
Greetings, my...
I'd like to try...
Why not? If you don't have it, maybe.
I'll prefer to pay for myself.
I see you are a man of action. I like it. The fights can get started then. Or they could. But as I said, old Fiala is sitting at home in the doghouse. His old woman won't let him fight anymore.
So you took my money for nothing?
Easy, lad, easy. We'll sort something out. What if you tried to talk to Dorothy? You're a stranger. Maybe she won't be as sharp with you as she is with us. Go and see her. She manages the baths behind the inn. It's no more than 5 steps.
All right, then. I'll see what I can do.
How can I help you?
I'm looking for your husband, Fiala.
Do you want to shave? Fiala's the best barber in the area. But I recommend you take a proper bath first. One of the girls will take you under her wing and will work out a price for you. What do you say?
I need him for the fights.
Oh, so that's what this is about. He's staying home. I need him here to watch out for the girls.
But we can't start without him.
And it serves you right. Find some more intelligent entertainment.
Why don't you want to allow Fiala to fight?
Because he always beats everybody up. Then the lads are all black and blue, and the girls don't have a lot of business. Putting poultices on bruises isn't going to pay for a new roof.
Have no fear. If you let him go, I'll give him such a going over he won't want to fight ever again.
Well, you seem like you might be able to manage that. But don't go and cripple him or anything. He has a lot of work to do here.
Don't worry. I'll be careful.
All right, then. Take Fiala with you. But this time, it really is the last time.
I'll just have Sharpie. How can I help?
When Clara had enough, they went to see Annie for a
Bring me something.
I'm looking for the barber, Fiala.
Then you found him. What can I do for you?
Get up. Let's go and fight.
Really? So Dorothy allowed it?
She said she'd let you go this one last time.
That's my girl. Let's go. We can't keep the lads waiting.
When Clara had enough, they went to see Annie for a bit of rough. See? It fits perfectly.
It does not fit.
Ah, buen gesto.
Leave me alone.
What are you here?
I'd like something.
Aye, and for
I just want to spend the night.
no problem, but she'll pay you.
I'd like to discuss.
All right. Agreed then. Your bed's ready, and there's some food in the pot.
Where can I find my room?
It's upstairs, right behind the stairs on the left. It's easy to find. There's a green wreath over the door.
Come and fight.
Wunderbar. Ausgezeichnet. Möchtest du wetten? It's more fun when you have something to lose or win.
Here you go.
That is what I like to see. Hier!
Da!
Ah! Haha, ich poliere dir deine Fresse. Hier! Da! Ah! Ah! Da! Ah! Keep dancing. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Greetings, friend.
God be with you. You gave me a beating. If you broke my Grazian finger, I won't be able to play anything for a while.
Thanks for the fight.
Ah. You too. Here are your winnings.
Thanks.
Could you come over here for a moment? Did I hear right that you're going to compete in the fights at the tavern?
Aye, I'm planning to. Why?
Well, I have a favour to ask of you.
And what do you need, girl?
One of the fighters, named Bohunek, he takes care of the horses here.
What about him?
I want you to give him a proper beating, so he won't be able to sit for at least a week.
And why? Did something happen?
He often comes to see me, pretends he likes me, but last time he came drunk. He ordered a bath, something to eat and drink, but then he suddenly knocked the tray out of my hand and started groping me.
Wait, he...
No, luckily not. But when I pulled away from him, he hit me so hard I thought he'd knock my eye out.
Well, why don't you tell Dorothy? She runs the baths, doesn't she? I bet she'd take care of Bohunek.
I can't. I'd have to confess he ran away without paying. But if you give him a really good thrashing, it'd be fair.
Bastards like that should get a proper beating. Hitting girls.
So you'll give him a hiding?
You better believe it. He won't put his hands on you anymore.
Thank you. Then come and see me. I'll figure out a way to repay you.
What do you enjoy about fighting so much?
What do I know? Sometimes it's just fun to punch someone, and it makes quite an impression on the girls. When a man has a sound punch, a girl feels safer with him.
Do you show off like that often?
Only when I have a feeling some wench might be watching. And that's nearly always, since the bathhouse is next door. So if you thought I ever go easy on anybody, you couldn't be more wrong.
Let's fight.
It'll be my pleasure. But before we start, I'll collect the bets. Do you have any money?
I do. Here you go.
And now pray. Here! Ha! Take that! You're going down, I tell you. You're going to be tasting dirt. Get a move on you, snail. Wake up! Get a move on you, snail. Just you. You don't look like it, but you're a good fighter. Here you go. And you owe me a tooth, you cunt.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
What the fuck are you on about?
That's for Anna. And if I ever hear you touched her again, I'll use my steel instead of my fists.
All right, fine. I'll leave her alone.
I'm all done in.
I think Bahunek won't be bothering you anymore.
Did you give him a proper licking?
Enough of a licking to make him think twice about troubling you next time.
Thank you. I feel better already. Unfortunately, I can't pay you for it. I can barely make ends meet myself. But I can sew. Clothes and wounds.
Thanks. That'll come in handy.
And I can also teach you something. How to mix a special ointment or to make a few stitches with a needle. What do you say?
I'd like to learn something. Does your Dorothy hold you back a bit?
Think whatever you want, but she turned me into a decent bloke. She's only trying to keep me away from temptation.
And what were you before?
A drunken good-for-nothing who could even lose his own soul to dice.
So what did she see in you?
That's a long story, but it involves Dorothy, me, a pitchfork, and the R's of one uppity customer.
So, are we going to fight or not?
You better believe it. But we have to bet first, right? Let's make this interesting.
The bet sounds good. Here you are.
That's what I like to see. Fight! I'll knock your whiskers right off your face. Go fuck yourself. Let me enjoy this one.
You call yourself a fighter?
Give it all you've got.
Go fuck yourself. I'll knock your whiskers right off your face.
I'll break your bones!
Tough shit!
That's nothing. Just a scratch.
Christ, you look awful. You need any help?
Dorothy was right. I should let the others do the fighting now.
Good fight. Thanks.
You're welcome, lad. You beat me fair and square. But if you want to practice anything or learn something else, come and see me. I'm certain Dorothy wouldn't mind that. Here you go. It's all yours. And from now on, I'm going to make a living through boring but honest work. Don't forget to go and see Lawrence. He has a nice reward waiting for the winner.
What will it be?
I defeated all my opponents.
I noticed, and I couldn't believe my own eyes. I thought Fiala would send you home crying. But you certainly deserve to win anyway.
Thanks.
By the way, if you enjoy fighting, go and see Crazel the miller in Lower Semine. Maybe he'd let you try your strength against some of his hired hands.
Maybe I will, if I'm ever in the area.
Welcome. What can I do for you?
Since you're always walking around the ponds here, did you notice a stray dog wandering about?
What? A dog? Do you think he came here to poach fish? Now, sheep? Well, that would be another story.
And why did you specifically mention sheep?
A while back, I heard Siegfried the shepherd complaining about them. Or about the gamekeeper. Or both. Why didn't you go and ask him yourself?
Where will I find that shepherd?
Siegfried? He lives with his sheep not far from here. On the other side of the water, up on the hill, towards the castle.
Thanks. I'll try and ask him. Otherwise, you haven't heard any talk of stray dogs around here, have you?
No, if it doesn't have fins and scales, I'm not interested in it. Though one night I was way down on the southern end of Rock Tower Pond, the big one, I've a spot there where I catch catfish. Well, I'm fishing, and all of a sudden I hear howling. Not just any old howling, mind you. There must have been at least 50 of them howling in the woods. A noise like an avalanche. I ran straight home and haven't been back there since.
Such a large pack.
Take care.
Greetings.
What happened? You look worried.
My husband Vostatek left to go hunting and hasn't come back. I'm worried that something happened to him. He's von Burgo's lead huntsman, and the forest is full of poachers these days.
Maybe he just got caught up somewhere.
Not a chance. We're invited to young Lord Semin's wedding. He wouldn't dare miss that by wandering around the woods for so long. What would Lord Semin think if we didn't show up? It would be a disgrace. He sometimes loses track of time out in the woods, but I've got a really bad feeling about it this time. One time, Vostatek didn't come home for 4 days after his horse broke its leg in the woods. I had a feeling right away that something bad had happened. And I have that same feeling now. Do you reckon you could help me?
Does that happen often? That he gets lost in the woods?
He disappears for a while from time to time when he gets orders from Lord von Burgo. And besides that, well...
What is it? You can tell me.
He drinks a bit sometimes. Then everything takes him longer. His job isn't easy, so I understand when he does, and I don't get upset with him.
I understand. But maybe you're right, and it really is something else this time.
Exactly.
Do you know where he might be? Where is his hunting ground?
In all the forests here around Vidlak Pond. He didn't tell me exactly where he was going, but maybe Vitek knows.
Vitek?
Our son.
So your husband got lost when he was out hunting, and you want me to go and find him?
I'd go myself, but Vostatek doesn't want me going to the woods on my own. He says it's dangerous. But you look like a fearless lad, and I'll be sure to reward you for your efforts.
Why did Vostatek forbid you from going to the forest? Is it really that dangerous?
There are wolves, boars, and worse out there.
What could you meet in the forest that's worse than an angry boar?
Well, people, of course. All sorts of cutthroats and thieves hide out in those woods. So watch your back.
I'll keep that in mind. All right. I'll bring Vostatek back to you.
Thank you. I wouldn't send you if I didn't think it was necessary, but I have a really bad feeling about this. Before you leave, please make sure to talk to Vitek. Maybe he'd know where his father was headed.
But why doesn't Vitek go looking for Vostatek then?
I told him, but the lad is young and stubborn. He just doesn't listen to me. And besides, him and Vostatek don't get along very well.
All right. I'll let you know as soon as I find something.
Be careful out there. See you soon, my friend.
Praise God. What will it be?
A shooting range in the middle of nowhere? Does anyone even come here?
People don't really come to watch, but there's usually plenty of archers. I reckon it's because nobody's ogling them here. What's more, shooting advice from master hunters nothing to be sneezed at, but not everyone comes here to shoot. I've had to kick out a few people. They spent entire days here, getting drunk with Pa. Drives Ma up the wall. So I'll give you one piece of advice for free. Don't come near my Pa with booze.
I'm looking for your father. Did he mention where he was headed?
Ma talked you into it, didn't she? I'd be willing to bet he just got wasted as usual. He's nothing but a drunkard. It's no secret.
What kind of a Christian are you? Sinner or saint, it's your duty to honor your father as the good book decrees. Come on. I just need a few words out of you, then I'll find him myself.
All right. No need to get preachy. I'll help you. But don't expect any gratitude from him.
Where did he go? Tell me.
The last thing he said was he found a dead deer near the pond, and he wanted to go and see if there were any wolves about. So I'd go down below the cottage, walk along the shore, and then turn north into the old forest. If he didn't get boozed up and forget, that is. Wouldn't be the first time.
Shouldn't you be looking for your father? You can come with me.
Ha! Forget about it. I'm sure it'll end with you dragging his drunken arse home anyway, and I'd rather avoid that.
What's your problem with him? He's your pa. You shouldn't talk about him like that.
All he does is drink and doesn't care about anyone else. Why would I talk about him in any other way? He's like a big, drooling infant. Ma and me are always at his beck and call. So I say we should let him deal with it himself.
Be that as it may, I'm going out to look for him.
No need to rush. At least it would give him time to sleep it off and come home on his own.